After Dustin's identity was revealed, Dwayne gave up resistance. His eyes were lifeless as if his soul had left his body. Dwayne knew that he was a goner. No one would save him, nor did they dare to. Take him away. Hunter ordered his men to bind Dwayne up. Despite knowing the truth, Dwayne could never leave Azkaban. There was only one way to leave. That is, being carried out for cremation after death. Stop right there. What are you doing? Leave that man alone. At that moment, Oliver appeared with his 2 female bodyguards and approached them aggressively. Initially, he hadn't planned on getting involved. However, Dwayne was such an incompetent idiot. How could he lose the fight? Oliver was forced to intervene before that knucklehead got himself locked up. At any rate, Dwayne was still of some use to him. He had to ensure Dwayne's safety before he got his hands on the precious Gemmafen. You have nothing to do with this. Don't poke your nose where it doesn't belong. Hunter warned in a cold tone. Too bad, I insist. What are you going to do about it? Oliver stuck his hands in his pockets and walked up to Dustin with a swagger. Are you one of Dwayne's men? Dustin asked nonchalantly. Dwayne? With his ability, he could only be my underling. However, I have a business deal with him. Without my permission, no one can take him away. While I am still being nice, release him immediately. Oliver retorted proudly with his nose in the air. What if I refuse? Dustin asked. You refuse? Punk, don't you know who I am? Don't you know who my father is? How dare you talk back to me? Are you looking for death? Oliver glared at him contemptuously. I couldn't care less about who you are or who your father is. It's best for you to stay out of this and let us deal with Dwayne, Dustin replied nonchalantly. Have you gone crazy? Anna. Break this punk's legs. Let's see if he could continue speaking in such a condescending tone while kneeling on the ground. Oliver smirked. Yes, sir. The 2 female bodyguards behind him rushed toward Dustin simultaneously. Flanking him on both sides, they poised to strike Dustin's knees with the intention of incapacitating him. There was no hesitation in carrying out Oliver's orders. With that, Dustin did not hold back. He made the first move and slapped both of them on the cheek. They staggered backward, stunned by the force of the heavy blow. You! Cradling their swollen cheeks, they tried to draw their swords in retaliation. Before they could do that, Dustin kicked them in the stomach and slapped them on the other cheek as well. The 2 bodyguards teetered as stars circled above their heads. Punk, you need to be taught a lesson. How dare you engage in a sneak attack? Oliver was burning with anger. He rushed forward to land a punch on Dustin's face. It was obvious that he was a martial artist. His fists were fast, sure, and accurate. However, Dustin wasn't impressed. He caught Oliver's fist and twisted it. Oliver's arm was displaced from its joint as he screamed in misery. Before Oliver could catch his breath, Dustin followed up with a punch to his abdomen. Oliver was thrown back a few feet away and landed heavily on his back. The impact caused Oliver to throw up, and he vomited all over himself. Sir. When they saw Oliver injured, the female bodyguards anxiously ran up to defend him. Kill him. I order you to kill him right now. Oliver held his stomach and roared with a ferocious expression on his face. There is no mercy for those who hurt our boss. The female bodyguards drew their swords and prepared to light. Nobody moves. Suddenly, Hunter shouted and pulled out his gun. The bodyguards were startled by Hunter's threat and froze in place. They did not dare to move a muscle. "Bastard! Don't you know who I am? How dare you point a gun at me?" Oliver stood up, his face livid. "I'm Oliver Williams, a member of the Boulderthorn Guild. Moreover, my father is the second in command." "Boulderthorn Guild?" When Oliver revealed his identity, Hunter's expression grew serious. As the best guild in the South, Boulderthorn has significant influence in Swinton. Even Edwin, the wealthiest man in Swinton, was only a normal member of the Boulderthorn Guild. This showed how strong and powerful the guild was. "What, are you scared?" Oliver cackled mockingly as everyone remained silent. "Now that you know who you are up against, kneel down and beg for forgiveness immediately. Otherwise, I will slaughter you and your entire family." What was the use of having guns or being a good fighter? These were all pointless as compared to the support of the Boulderthorn Guild. With a single word, he could destroy them all like ants. This was the power of influence and authority. "Boulderthorn, is it?" Dustin was still unfazed after hearing Oliver's threat. "What if I kill all three of you right now? Then no one would know what had happened here." "Kill me? How dare you?" Oliver widened his eyes. "If you touch even a strand of hair on my head, I assure you that your body would be blown up into pieces. Since you threaten my family, what's there to be afraid of? An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth." Dustin shrugged nonchalantly. Dustin's words made Oliver step back in fear, as he was unprepared for a fight. It would be troublesome if Dustin decided to follow through with what he said. "I'm going to remember this, punk. I'm not done with you." Seeing as the situation was unfavorable, Oliver and his bodyguards left in a hurry with their tails between their legs. A wise man knew better than to fight when the odds were against him. With his noble status, it wasn't worth it to put his life on the line. "Mr. Anderson, what do you know about Boulderthorn?" Dustin asked as his gaze trailed after them. "Boulderthorn Guild has been expanding rapidly. With their reputation in the world of martial arts, they were set to be the best guild in the South. Their members are widespread in every possible field, which allows the guild to spread its influence far and wide. In addition, I heard that Boulderthorn is planning to open a branch in Swinton. That man's father, Mr. Williams, was sent here as a representative for the new branch," Hunter reported in a low voice. Dustin nodded in acknowledgement and turned around to leave. "That person must have had something to do with the Boulderthorn Guild, right?"